Alright. Let's get out of here. I am like uncomfortably close to that sidewalk. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Obviously, I have a little different setup from what my usual videos are. I usually have my videos like with the camera facing me, but I actually got a GoPro from my sister. So thank you. Shout out to my sister for hooking it up with a GoPro. Just wait for this guy. You good, sir? Okay. Anyways, I've been wanting to update you guys about this car. I haven't made a video in so long because life is just busy and it's so hard to mod your car when most of the parts that I'm buying are JDM stuff and they never come in time, and I hate it. There is a few things that I did order online. It's so hard to buy parts for this car because you're either buying it from Japan. So we have a couple shops here in Calgary. There's a First Gear, there is Vex, there is VS1 Auto. Those are the ones I recommend anyways when you're buying stuff. But that being said, when they order stuff, especially stuff from Japan, they're not immune to getting stuff like months later. You know what I'm saying? I bought wheels, I ordered wheels and back in March, and I'm actually not gonna get it until, I don't know, September, December. So it's kind of hard to just wait on stuff, and it's hard to make videos when you don't have any parts to, you know, install. My car is just stock, completely almost stock still. Most of the parts I have are cosmetic, mostly because I'm not really planning to do power mods to this car as much as I would want to. It's still under warranty, so I don't really want to play around with it. I want to keep it under warranty, especially with all the scary news online and stuff. I'm not a big believer of the RTV in these cars. As long as you're daily driving it, I'm not really scared, just because I know I drive like a grandma and I don't really abuse this car, so I'm not too concerned. I do, you know, drive it spirited every now and then, but I don't, you know, I'm not accumulating an insane amount of G's. I'm not cornering like insane, so I'm not too concerned about that. I'm not really planning to track this car. The purpose of this car was one, to just have a fun daily driver. That being said, update on this car. It's been fantastic so far. All I've done is oil changes at Subaru. I have no complaints. Subaru is fantastic. They've taken care of me both locations here in Calgary. Subaru Calgary, shout outs to you, and also Centaur Subaru. They've been really good to me. The car itself has been fantastic. Honestly, just oil changes and regular maintenance. I've done the air filter, the engine air filter, the cabin air filter, and oil changes. That's essentially all I've done so far to this car. The only things that I ran into, which is freak accidents, and not at all because BRZs are unreliable, but I got an oil change at a Subaru here in Calgary, and maybe 2 to 3 weeks later I started smelling oil coming through my vents. I thought it's because, I don't know what I thought. Honestly, I didn't think of much about it. It didn't really freak me out at first. It just started happening just all of a sudden one day. So I drove home, I put the car in the garage. The next morning, I turned on my car, and usually it's a cold start. My temperatures should start from cold, right? But when I started it that day, it immediately went from like all the way to the from the left all the way to the right. So immediately turned it off because it freaked me out. I was like, why am I overheating? And again, I smelled the oil like bad. So I turned the car off and I look under the engine bay and there's absolutely oil everywhere. My under my hood, on my intake, everything. So I tried to clean it up as much as possible, and I noticed that the oil cap was not present. So I put the oil cap back on and I went to go get an oil change like a month later, and there was still oil residue, and they cleaned it off and everything was fine. The car's still running fine, so there's no issues there. I don't know if the tech just forgot to screw on the oil cap, or if, I don't know how, because it's been 3 weeks, so I don't understand. But I never opened the engine bay, so I don't know. But I get so scared now that every time I gas, I check my oil cap if it's still there. Geez, some people need to learn how to drive. That was just the first freak accident. The second freak accident, I was changing my winter tires to my summer tires when I was removing one of the studs, removing one of my my lug nuts. One of my studs just decided to yeet. Luckily it was just the front. So here's the thing, I've had my Scion FRS and I've stripped all the studs on that before because I was an idiot. I didn't use a torque wrench for my FRS and I stripped all the studs. So I knew Subaru studs, you can Google this, I knew Subaru studs are not very good. So I am adamant in always torque wrenching my stuff. And if you guys are watching this right now, always torque wrench your stuff. I torque wrenched all my studs or my lug nuts to 90 pounds because OEM is 89. I didn't think 1 pound would make a difference, but apparently it does. Luckily they were both at the front, so luckily it was very easy to remove the studs from the front hub. The rear is very difficult and very messy, and I would have needed professional help for that. But for the front ones, you just needed to hammer them out, and I bought this little tool thing that you can push the stud in as well. I forget what it's called. Super easy for the front ones anyways. But yeah, those are really the only two things that have happened to this car. One was, I believe, technician's fault. I can't blame him. I don't know what actually happened because it was like 3 weeks later after the oil change. Normally if he just forgot to screw on the cap, it would have taken like a few hours before it backed out. So I don't know if he screwed it on but not tight enough. I don't know, I have no idea. But the second one was my fault, I guess. Don't over torque your lug nuts, not even 1 pound. Do not over torque your lug nuts. I ended up buying a set of raised lug nuts that work with the OEM wheels, just because I didn't want to have to deal with torquing those down. Because I actually did a little Google search, and apparently first of all, the studs are very weak, and also the lug nuts cross thread very easily. So that's not very reassuring. So I ended up just buying new lug nuts, and so far I've taken it off multiple times and I haven't really had any issues with these raised lug nuts. So if you see me driving around with raised lug nuts on my stock OEM wheels, I'm sorry. It looks a little funky because I bought red ones, but it is what it is, because the red ones will look good with my wheels that are coming. So I was like, I'm not gonna buy another set when my wheels come in, so I might as well get ones that look good with my wheels that are coming. And yeah, what is going on over here? Why is everybody in like Hawaiian shirts? But that's pretty much the end of the video. I just wanted to update you guys on what's been going on with the car and why I haven't been posting lately. Obviously I can't really post videos when I don't have mods to install and stuff like that, so there's not much updates. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.